Welcome back to the Kilo Cave, guys, and welcome to a new Vaughn weightlifting cycle. We're very excited to get this cycle going. We have lots of new stuff for you in the program, lots of new stuff going on with Vaughn weightlifting in general, and we're very excited to kind of share that with you, through these next couple weeks as we continue to move forward. A couple things you're going to notice if you've been on the program before is kind of a little bit of a new look to the programming blog post. So when you click on the program now, there's going to be a little bit of a different look. It won't take you long to get used to that. If you're watching this video, but you're still on a program that we've already put out before, then you can find those programs. We have a link under the program tab on the front page of the Vaughn weightlifting site that you can still for now go back and look at that. What we're going to do within the next 3 or 4 weeks is get one of those into a document form to where you guys can still have access to that. Anybody that's still on one of those programs wants you to be able to finish that out and still continue on and use it to its full capacity. Okay. Also, remember that I talked about last week. We're going to do away with the 4-day program, but in reality, we have the 5-day, of course, and we have the 3-day. In reality, I've added a extra credit day on not only the 3-day, but on the 5-day as well. So, what that really means is that we have a 3-day option, a 4-day option, a 5-day option, and a 6-day option. Now, those extra credit days, or the extra credit day for the 5-day week, there's not a whole lot going on there. There's a couple extra exercises, mostly auxiliary stuff, mobility and recovery and that kind of thing. And definitely recommend that you get that in if you can, but it's not at all a requirement. It's not going to make or break the program whether you do that or not, but if you like to keep moving, it's definitely stuff that can benefit you. Now, the 3-day program, the extra credit day there is a little bit more lengthy, not too long, but there's a few more exercises in there, and again, that basically is going to turn it into a 4-day week. And again, the way that I've set it up is the 3-day week program. It's a sufficient, complete program. So again, don't feel like you have to get that 4th day in. It's meant to be, just literally extra credit, or a 4th day for anybody that wants a 4-day program. Again, I know there was a couple of you guys that were on the 4-day program that were a little bit concerned about it. I'm confident that you're going to get just as much out of this setup as you did the other 4-day. All right. So another thing about the extra credit day is you're going to see that at the very bottom. So when you click on the 5-day or the 3-day, scroll all the way to the bottom. If you want to see what that extra credit day is, it's going to be at the very bottom. It'll be labeled extra credit day, and you're going to put that in just on one of your off days, obviously. So for the 5-day week program, you have 2 days off per week. It really doesn't matter which one you put that on, just depending on your schedule and where you can fit it in. But on the 3-day, ideally, I would say that you add that in on Saturday. So the 3 days written for Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or something comparable, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday maybe. So if it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I recommend that you put that 4th day if you can on Saturday. But in the end, again, it's a lot of auxiliary stuff, a few partial movement exercises and that kind of thing. So it's not going to kill you if it's on a different day than what I just recommended. All right. Let me know if you guys have any questions on that, and I'll help you out. Warm-ups are adjusted just a little bit. Mostly more of the same there, but I've added a few little things to it that I've been doing with my classes, my CrossFit classes and my weightlifting classes, and I think it's going to be very beneficial to you. Basically, just a couple pieces of mobility, but when I say mobility, it's not your typical stretching. It's kind of moving stretches, and we've done a lot of this before in the program, but it's putting it more detailed inside of the warm-ups, and those are general additions, and what that means is that those are things that we feel are things that most people need that are going to help most people improve their squat position, for example, or just their overall mobility, overall warm-up and stimulation to get them in better positions and to move better within the workout. But what I'm going to try to help teach you guys and help you guys with a little bit more as we continue to move forward is how to maybe individualize those a little bit. So for example, instead of one of the things you're going to see in there, it's an ankle rock, which is just basically you taking your ankle to its end range over and over again to help warm that up and try to create a little bit more range of motion during your warm-up, again, to better yourself in the program. If your ankles are perfectly fine, you may replace that with something else, another part of your body that needs it. So, kind of keep that in mind moving forward. It's not going to hurt you to go ahead and get the warm-ups in the way that they are, but if you know there's a major piece of the puzzle that's missing for you that you can replace in there right now, then go ahead and do so, and you'll just have those extra reps and that extra time trying to offset that thing that is most in need for you. All right. The thing that I'm looking forward to the most for you guys is 20 rep squats. So you're going to notice that for 3 of the days this week, you're going to be doing 20 rep squats, and that's whether you're on the 3-day or the 5-day. And so 20 rep squats, for you guys that have never done that before, you've never heard of the 20 rep squat program. It's written originally as I believe a 6-week program, where for 6 weeks, 3 times a week, you do 1 set of 20 in the squat. So obviously, you want to start really, really light and slowly build up to that. So 6 times 3, that's 18. That's 18 workouts. That's 18 sets of 20 that you would normally do. I've gone through a version of the 20 rep squat program many times through my career. I've never done the complete 6 weeks, but I've done 4 weeks a lot or 3 weeks or something like that. But in either case, what I feel about it, the benefits are mostly in regards to setting yourself up into the squat, specifically the squat program that you're going to move into after that. But of course, the benefit of the entire program that you move into after those 20 rep squats. And so we'll play with 20 reps again as we move forward and get into different programs, and we'll do it in different ways. For this time, we're going to end up doing it for 2 weeks. So you guys are going to get in 6 sessions with 1 set of 20 in the back squat. And what I want you to do is make sure you're following my recommendations, my percentage recommendations on that. We're going to start really light. It doesn't matter what weight you use for a set of 20. It's going to kind of suck. It's going to be difficult. So we're going to start at 55%, and you'll see that indicated on that first set of 20 that you're going to do. And then we're just basically going to inch up from there. Obviously, if we were doing it for 3 or 4 weeks, we would take those jumps a little bit smaller. We're not going to make huge jumps here, but by the time you get to that 5th and 6th set, as we get into the week that's following this one, it's going to get pretty spicy, pretty difficult, especially if you've never done 20s before. It's definitely a different kind of stimulus, and whether you've done it or not, I'm looking forward to you guys getting some pretty good benefit out of that. One of the things that I want you to pay attention to, back when I was doing them a lot, the way, just like I'm going to do with you guys, we're going to do it at the end of the day. So you're going to do all your work, and then at the end of the day, you're warmed up and ready to go. You got just 1 set of 20 to do. I would jump in either with no warm-up or just 1 warm-up set. The weights aren't, heavy to where you really need a lot of warm-up, specifically in the squats if you've already done some other stuff in your program. But I learned pretty quickly that I needed to focus on my breathing. What would happen is that I would either try to just get through as many reps as I could, maybe 5 or 10 in a row, holding my breath or breathing very little, and then my breath would kind of get away from me. I'd start breathing really rapidly and a whole lot between each rep. And what I found that happens, especially as you start to get heavier, is that your body starts to kind of shut down and recover. And you don't want it to start to shut down and recover. You want to keep it going to complete those 20s. And so even though these first couple days that you do this, they should be manageable for you. I want you to go ahead and start practicing your breathing and kind of your technique and your approach to doing a set of 20 the best that you can as you get heavier. And so what that's going to look like is that you're going to take the bar out of the rack, you're going to stand up, and you're going to breathe. Take a deep breath, hold it, down and up, breathe out. and then go again. So you'll take one deep breath between each rep. I recommend up to at least 10 reps. That way you're halfway through and you only have 10 to do. Or if you can get to say 12 or 15 on these couple sets, that's great. If you can go all the way to 20 with one breath, that's okay too. Just make sure that you're focusing on that breathing. And once you feel like you need to take more than one breath, only take 2. And by the end, that may get a little bit tough as well. But say you get to 10, don't just let yourself stand there and breathe. Again, the more that you breathe, and especially if you get away from deep breaths, your body's going to start to, again, kind of shut down and go in recovery mode, and those reps are going to get a little bit harder than they would be. So one breath up to 10 to 15 or even 20. But once you stop that one breath, try to get 1 rep in every 2 breaths. All right, pay attention to that. Practice that for me. I think it'll help you get through these a lot. The recovery portion of the program, more of the same. We'll be kind of adjusting here and there on that as we move forward, just like on everything else. But we do have a couple newer exercises in there, newer pieces of mobility that you'll see kind of sneak in and out of there. But once again, you know, that's a very important part of the entire program. If you know, don't skip it. Find a way to get it in, even if you need to. Honestly, you know what I've said before. If you need to shorten a couple sets from some of the other stuff, not any of the strength movements right now, but any of the other stuff, I would be more okay with you doing that than skipping the recovery portion. Again, the recovery portion is general. That means it's not specific to anyone's any individual's needs. But that recovery portion, if you know for certainty that there are 1 or 2 things that you're struggling most with, then fill that space with that and go ahead and attack that issue just like we were talking about earlier, okay? New section in there that you guys are going to see is an auxiliary section. So it's going to be in there, you know, most every day right now. You're going to see it in there every day. Every now and then we may take a day break from it. But, you know, there's so many different things that we can do there. And what I want you to understand about this section is that, just like I talked about the recovery, it's very important. You know, don't skip it. If there's a portion of the program that you skip, if you had to, it might be this one. But man, it's going to help you a lot over time and add up a lot if you can get these things in. There's a lot of imbalances and weaknesses, little weaknesses here and there that people have that can be helped significantly by the stuff that we're going to do a lot of in the auxiliary section. One of the things that I want to make sure of, and I'm going to try to keep myself in check on it, is not making it over complicated. So I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to keep it just, you know, 1 or 2 exercises to the point, and we don't have to do a lot of extremely different things there. Let's just get some work in with some basic auxiliary movements that we know work really well, and that's what we're going to try to stay focused on. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Let me know if you have any questions on that. That's about it. That's about all I have for the program this week, guys. As a reminder, you know, we're getting into this new cycle. It's a 14-week cycle, just like the other 2 have been. Not for any other reason that it just coincidentally happened that way. But we have this 14 weeks is going to take us into the Vaughn Weightlifting Oki Open that's going to be held in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Any of you guys in the Texas area, Oklahoma area, Arkansas, Kansas, near enough that you can drive into that thing, hopefully we'll see you there. But this program is meant to lead into that. As usual, take it into another competition, take it into a test day if that's what you're doing. No big deal. But again, 14 weeks. The first 3 weeks, as I mentioned last week, are going to be for free. The first full week in December, I believe the date's December 5th. I'll continue to remind you guys of this each week, and as it comes up, I'll give you instructions on how to move forward. But we're going to transition into that paid side. Again, guys, enjoy those 20 reps. I know that it's hard for me to say that I enjoyed them, but I definitely enjoyed the benefit from those 20 reps, and I'm confident that you guys, you know, stick it out, make it through these 2 weeks, and I'm pretty confident you guys are going to feel some benefit from them moving into the following week. So excited to have you guys back. Again, I'm excited to start this new cycle and move forward with all the stuff that we have going on. So I will see you guys next week.